The main way that social websites differ from traditional websites from a design perspective is that you're designing for multiple people at once. You might think of it that way. I like to say that user experience or user interfaces are singular. They're like you looking in your medicine chest or your bathroom mirror. It's you and the machine giving you stuff for you about you. Social experiences mediate relationships between multiple people. So as a designer, you don't have as much control. You can't set a very clear path or series of branching paths and assume that users just want to get their toothpaste, check their prescription, and wash their face. You actually, it's more like planning a party. You say, don't go in the bedroom, the beer's in the kitchen, but after that, the users make up the experience. So you're kind of co-creating it with them. I think the web has the original promise of the web was that it made your location and your geography much less important, and which is great if you're isolated or if you're not near the people who are into what you're into or have what you need. Suddenly now you can find those people wherever they live on the globe and join a Usenet news group with them or be in a Ning group or a Facebook thing or whatever it is this week, but there's always some way to do that. And that's a very cool thing about the web that continues to be awesome. But we now also have kind of a critical mass of people on the web, even in Facebook, let's say, and ubiquity, at least in the Western world, in the world I'm mostly in. Internet is everywhere. It's very easy to turn on and get access to it, get access to your stuff in the cloud, etc. So now you can assume that actually people are nearby you as well. And geography, it turns out, is still totally relevant, and relevant in new ways when you can take information about people and location information about people, so metadata about people and location information, and mix it together and put it in the hands of the individual people, again, so that they can plan a meeting or notice a serendipitous event or talk about a place that they all like. It gives new social objects to the graph. Well, I've been struck recently by the idea of play as part of design, and it relates to that idea of giving up control. For designers coming from other media before the web is a remarkably sort of fluid and chaotic medium that it's very hard to control, and that's true both, say, just in terms of visual and graphic design. That the great lesson was, you can no longer design something like a static magazine page that's going to look the same in everybody's edition. The browser may be a different shape, the window may be open a different way, the resolution may be different, the color matching is almost certainly different. There's all these factors that would not be under the control of the designer. And that was very difficult, I think, for people schooled in the old ways, because you see the results and that's not what you envisioned, and you used to have mastery and control. But there's always been a type of design that is more co-created with the user, and I would say architecture is an example of that, where you design the building, the rooms, you make sure the roof works, you make sure that the doors work and are connected to rooms and things like that. But then people decorate it, place the furniture, and have experiences in it that they have a big say in. So it's a different form of design. It's a design with frameworks rather than closed experiences. And so play allows me to think about how to get into the open part, the part you're not going to control. How do you make that part work? And it turns out there are ways to do that. You establish rules, you establish goals, you borrow from game design, you borrow from design of musical instruments and tools and things that are playable. And so it helps fill in that other side of design besides just the fixed part. Well, I like to say that there's work and there's play. And very few of us will have a life that's full of play only and has no work in it. And probably a philosopher could question whether you'd really want that or something. But the truth of the matter is that I think things can be more playful, and that play doesn't simply mean daydreaming or always having fun, even. To me, what it means is being able to enter a flow state and get in a groove and stop thinking about the clock and just do the thing that you're doing and enjoy life as you're using your mind, you're solving a problem. So I think spreadsheets probably are already playful to people who have great mastery over them. The trick is to give people a way to interact with their they're enterprise and productivity software that doesn't require that you be a ninja for it to be fun. And I think there are ways to allow tuning, which is an idea from design of musical instruments, that you allow people to fine-tune the interface until it works well for them. Say, adding game elements, adding just the simple idea of collector's items or badges or rewards for accomplishing things, can add an overlay of gameplay that lightens the experience. So it's not going to necessarily that your job turns into like going to an amusement park, but you might take something that's famously boring and dull and like going down into your basement and crawling around in the pipes and make it into something like more on the front lawn, running around in the sprinkler.